Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sharon's Faith Corner. I appreciate you joining me today, being part of my day and making me part of yours. And then also, I want to thank you for inviting me into your home. Um, I made a commitment to do this at least once a week until the end of the year. And I've been in a little bit of a funk the last couple of days, so I don't really feel like doing much, but I'm a woman that stays within my integrity. Um, and so I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I hope that what I have to share with you will be helpful to people to know that it's okay to get help. Because the consequences can be quite big if you don't. But anyway, I met Roger on March 13th, 2010. We were at a dance together. My birthday is St. Patrick's Day, so it was a St. Patrick's Day dance. And when we met, it was just like this instant connection, and we danced for hours. We danced to Led Zeppelin, um, and it was getting time to go, and he went to walk away, and then he came back and took a sip of my Diet Coke, and he asked if he could court me. I'll never forget that because nobody says that anymore. And I said, sure, you can court me. And we had some really good years together. He was great to my kids and really took an active role in their lives and an active role in my life. I mean, for all accounts and purposes, we were the love of each other's lives and carefree and danced often, did fun things together, um, and had a life. Um, we were doing running together, walking together, all these things, movies together, all these beautiful things that were part of our life. And then one day, our life changed unexpectedly. Um, we heard a woman screaming, "Help! Help!" And this was in 2014. Um, and what happened is she was screaming so loud you could hear it close. Roger left and got there first. I got there second. We had a landlord, his name was Jerry, who got there third. Jerry brought a brick. Uh, I don't know why he brought a brick, but I was. But the other thing about that night is that we heard gunshots, and so anyway, we don't know what we were walking into. Um, but again, Roger got there first, and when I got to the scene quickly after him, there was a naked woman at the bottom of the stairs, and Roger was holding her gunshot wounds, all just with his bare hands. Um, and we didn't know what was happening, and Jerry was holding this brick because we didn't know is there other shooters. And anyway, the woman who was at the bottom of the stairs that Roger was holding her gunshot wounds, she was naked. And there was a man at the top of the stairs that came forward, and he was naked, and he dropped in a pool of blood. Nobody ran up to help him. And part of that still bothers me today. But again, you don't know if there's other shooters. And also, was he the shooter? I mean, you don't know what you're going to deal with until you're into that situation. And then the other thing is, I saw blood everywhere. Um, I mean, Roger was holding that woman's gunshot wounds, and there was blood all over his pants and all over him. And I'll never forget the look in his eyes. But he never gave up on that woman. And I just kept thinking, I've got to get the blood out of those pants. And I don't know, you don't think about buying new pants. You just think the weirdest things when you're going through a trauma. I did get the blood out of those pants. But anyway, uh, I know it's silly that you think about these things, but um, eventually the ambulance got there. Both people survived. Vivian was the woman at the bottom of the stairs, and Stephen was at the top of the stairs. We didn't meet these people until that night, and our lives changed forever because of that night. Um, so after we all walked away, the police came. They took Roger and Jerry down to the police station um, because they didn't know I was there, but the media sure surrounded me to get my statement. And at first, I didn't know what to say in the first interview. I didn't have them even look at my face. But that wasn't until later, because I didn't know if we were dealing with other shooters that might come back and hurt us later. You just never know. Um, but Roger went down to the station, and so did Jerry. We always teased Jerry after that for bringing a brick to a gunfight. Um, but I suppose that was smart at the time. But Roger, uh, they went down to the station, and I was proud of him because he was really the man that walked into that fire, and he saved that woman's life. But if any of you have dealt with post traumatic stress, that's exactly what we dealt with for the next 8 years after that shooting. Um, our relationship at the, it was not carefree and happy like it had been before. And drinking came into play, where it hadn't been before. He was stressed every time he got the notification about court, and then it kept being delayed. Um, and it was hard to watch this man that I loved and felt carefree decline the way he did. But I know he was a hero. He was a veteran, and he was triggered by post traumatic stress, and that blood triggered some things that happened in the military to him. And, I'm proud of him for walking into that fire. But I'm also sad that, as a result of that night, those two people lived. Vivian lived and Stephen lived. But I almost feel like Roger's death was the tragedy of that night, even though it was years later. Not keeping it real. Um, anyway, finally court came. And one thing I am pleased to report is we got to see Vivian, the one that Roger's bare hands on her gunshot wounds saved her. Um, she was okay, and that was good to see. And Stephen got 15 years in prison. A little bit about that story is that Stephen, we didn't know this neighbor, but he hired Vivian. She was into prostitution at the time, and he, like, basically what he did is was holding her at gunpoint and did shoot her, but she was able to get the gun from him and shoot him. And anyway, it was sad to see her in that state, and it was sad to see him. Again, they were both naked, but the court didn't come until almost 4 years later that Roger got to testify, and Jerry testified, and they asked if I would as well. And anyway, I'm pleased to report that Vivian got out of prostitution, and at that hearing, reported that she's doing well, and Roger saved a soul, and I'm forever grateful. And I know nobody went up to help Stephen. Again, we didn't know what was in that apartment, so we didn't dare, but I'm grateful he's alive too, but he is in prison where he should be. And anyway, in the aftermath of all of this, I've had to take care of myself. I do running. I do a lot of things that help my own mental health. I stayed sober through it all, and you can stay sober through trauma. I talked to counselors. I know that Roger wouldn't want me to keep reliving what happened to our lives, and just be grateful for the lives that we did get together. And I'm grateful that Vivian's alive and doing well, and hope that while Stephen's in prison that he's getting help as well. Anyway, I'm really grateful for the people who have supported me and supported us after that happened. I'll be grateful every single day that I had with Roger. When he died, my whole body was affected in a way that only comes when you lose the love of your life like that. But I'm grateful for the people I have in my life today. And I just really felt like I needed to talk about that experience, because post-traumatic stress is no joke. But you are all worth recovering from that. And there's help available. And so please go talk about it. I know it might be hard in the beginning, but there are trained professionals for a reason. There's friends for a reason, and you don't have to isolate alone. You can get out there and talk about it. And anyway, uh, the miracle in all of this, even though the story in a lot of ways is sad, is Vivian. And Vivian, I don't know where you are today, but if you happen to see this, just know how much Roger prayed for you after that shooting every single day, and has immense love for you, and so do I. All right, guys. Well, thank you for sharing this with me, and don't forget to give a shout out to my sponsors, Sims Motorcycle Monkeys. Please get out there, check out their shop. They're a great redemption story. And again, thank you for spending this time with me. I'm a little all over today because I'm dealing with another death this week, and I'm feeling all type of way. But I'm proud of myself for showing up and keeping my integrity to do this today, no matter how I feel. And I send my love to all of you as always, and have a beautiful day.